All right, let's talk about something we all deal with, quitting. I'm not talking about the big, dramatic, I'm out of here kind of quitting. No, I mean the quiet, reasonable sounding decision to just stop. Often, it happens right before something big is about to change.
So, why do we do this? The thing is, quitting early almost never looks like failure. In fact, that little voice in your head sounds so sensible, so self-protective, doesn't it? It uses language that completely lets us off the hook.
I'm sure you recognize this one. It sounds like you're having this moment of profound self-awareness. But honestly, most of the time, that's just your exhaustion talking or your frustration that you can't see the progress yet.
Ah, the classic. This is the sound of avoidance, pure and simple. It's not a no, it's just a not now. And that feels so much better, right? So much less final, except it has the exact same result. You've stopped moving.
And of course, there's always Monday. That magical, mythical day where all our willpower and motivation will just be, poof, magically restored. But here's the thing. These quiet excuses, they're just the final step. The journey that gets us here starts somewhere completely different.
So where does it all begin? It almost always starts in the same place, what we call the shiny beginning. You know that feeling. The start of any new goal is incredible. It's clean, it's hopeful, and it is just full of this amazing energy.
The beginning of a goal makes such a strong impression because it's not just about what you're doing, it's about who you're becoming. For that brief moment, you feel so close to that disciplined, focused, successful version of yourself you've imagined. And man, that feeling is addictive. Our imagination is just so generous. In our minds, our future self wakes up smiling, they're perfectly focused, they're already a success. But the reality of progress isn't some glowing movie montage, it's just the work. The boring, day in, day out work.
But here's the trap. That incredible starting energy, it's not proof that you're going to make it. We mistake that initial burst of excitement for real endurance, but they are two totally different things. And when that excitement inevitably fades, we enter the most dangerous phase of all. And this is what brings us to the boring middle. This is the part nobody makes cute, inspiring videos about. It's repetitive, it's quiet, the path forward isn't clear anymore, and honestly, this is where most people just quietly walk away.
See, the middle doesn't usually cause some big dramatic breakdown. Instead, it just slowly takes a toll. It's not one big crisis, it's the slow drip, drip, drip of showing up every day and not quite seeing the results you expected.
And after a while of that, you become reluctant. You haven't officially quit, no, not yet. But your heart just isn't in it anymore. You start delaying, avoiding, telling yourself all those little stories about how you'll get to it later. You know, one of the biggest reasons we quit is because we can't see what's really happening. We're trained to respect visible progress, the obvious results, the perfect outcomes. But we completely ignore all the invisible progress happening under the surface, which is usually the foundation for everything else to come.
To put it bluntly, the way you judge your own journey is probably wrong. Your brain isn't always a fair manager. It'll look at 3 weeks of quiet, consistent effort and just say, not dramatic enough. I'm unimpressed.
And right here in this quiet season, a huge misunderstanding happens. We start to believe that feeling awkward or uncertain or just plain uncomfortable is a sign that we're failing and that we should probably just stop. But what if that feeling of discomfort isn't a stop sign at all? What if it's actually a signal that you are stretching, that you are growing, that you are right on the verge of a breakthrough? I mean, changing your habits and your identity is never going to feel completely comfortable. Okay, so if the middle is this hard, what do you do? How do you actually stay when every single part of you wants to disappear and just start over with a fresh new notebook? Well, here are 4 simple but really powerful strategies. 1. Narrow down the goal. If it feels too heavy, make it smaller. 2. Reconnect with your real reason for starting, the honest, human why. 3. Allow for imperfect consistency. A messy effort is 1,000 times better than no effort at all. And 4. Ask a better question. And notice, none of these are about finding more motivation. They're all about changing your perspective. This brings us to what might be the most important mindset shift of all. It's about completely reframing the whole idea of what success and progress actually are. See, comparison is absolute poison, especially during the boring middle. It makes you look at somebody else's perfectly curated highlight reel and ask, am I ahead? Am I behind? And that question will almost always make your own real, messy journey feel small.
But true growth asks a much quieter and honestly a much more powerful question. Am I still here? Are you still showing up? Are you still in the game? Are you still trying?
Because if the answer to that is yes, then the story isn't over. People leave right before something begins to shift, all the time. They believed the silence meant they were failing, when really it was just the sound of things taking root.
You have to remember, progress often arrives quietly. It doesn't always knock on the front door. Sometimes it's already in the room with you while you're busy feeling discouraged. So the only question that really matters is this one. The quiet work is happening. Are you still here?